Warning, the following show features stunts performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, MTV and the producers must insist that no one attempt to recreate or reenact any stunt or activity performed on this show.
Kate, take a look.
What is this? I see a lot of similar little houses. Oh, I see a man in bare feet skateboarding.
Ooh.
And it says skater dater.
I think the date was too small to read there, but it was 1965.
Ooh. It's surf rock. Got some surf rock going on. Just a barefoot dude skating. And his feet are not super camera ready, but it was the 60s. They were doing the best they could. He's doing some cool skate tricks, though.
Oh, he's young.
He's just like a
he's
little
like
dude.
a little boy.
Yeah. He had the feet of a 40-year-old man.
Yeah,
that was really odd.
I assumed this was going to be a much older man.
Perhaps, though, because he is skating barefoot every day. This kid's like 13 or younger,
young.
and he has the feet of a 40-year-old. So this kid is just like stoically skating through Southern California.
It cannot be comfortable to kick off.
No one has any expression on their faces. These kids are just skating with like the look of duty on their face of like 3 young men going to Vietnam, you know?
Which they're lucky they're too young to do, I think.
All right, so here's a bunch of skate kids, little skate rats. They're all skating. They all have the same outfit on, or the same top.
Yeah, they're kind
Are
of
they part of like
uniform.
a little skate gang? It's so interesting that they don't have any shoes on.
Yeah, these shots though on the ground are so cool.
They are really cool, actually.
It keeps cutting back and forth.
They have to have like a dolly of some
it's
kind,
on
or
wheels.
a skateboard or something.
It might just be on a skateboard.
So
Kate,
what is this?
You are watching the first ever skate video.
It's pretty wild.
It was made in 1965. It's called Skater Dater. It's an 18-minute short film. It was made by a man named Noel Black while he was a student at the University of California, and shows members of the Imperial Skateboard Club, who were a bunch of young skaters in California. Whoa, that guy just jumped over a red wagon. Cool. And his board
This kid doesn't have any expression on his face, though.
Look, they just cut off a guy on a bicycle, or a girl on a bicycle, and she flipped over, and she's mad. This is great. Okay, Kate. So I guess we should
give a little context.
I guess we should provide some context
why
for
I'm watching
what's going
a skate
on.
video from 1965.
So before we even get into what we're going to watch today, we've been discussing a little mini series here that I want to call Poorly Supervised January. You think that that's too... My parents will hear it and be like, we did not poorly supervise you.
I think it's a little insulting to your parents.
So here are some alternate names I came up with. Could it be called No Rules New Year? Could it be called Reckless Winter? How about Freewheelin' First Month? Then I also, as an alternative, Free for All First Month. This is the best one, I think. They're all the best.
You're making yourself laugh.
Loose Leash January.
Ooh, Loose Leash January.
Parental Blind Spot Post Holidays. The theme is things that are not appropriate for children that children our age, our generation, definitely were watching. You weren't, but
no, surely
because you were a good little girl. But the rest of us were watching these things that I was going to say aren't made for children, but in some cases, I feel like they knew they weren't 12-year-old boys to watch this, or even younger, even though it's not really appropriate.
Yes. So tell me, Tyler, what are we going to start Laissez-Faire Janvier off with? What was the last one?
Oh, Parental Blind Spot Post Holidays? Or did you like the one before that, Loose Leash January?
Whew, okay.
Just the idea that those of us whose parents were working a lot to provide for us maybe did not always have as much time or care to say, hey, don't watch that, to closely monitor maybe what we were watching at all times. Or those of us who had a TV in our room.
Don't put a TV in your kid's room.
Had
no
a TV
screens.
in our room with access to cable, basic cable, but cable. MTV was on there. And at any time of night could turn it on with the volume low. Although, didn't you see the TV glowing under the door? I saw the TV glow.
Split shift start to the year.
So the one we're going to watch today, which is going to be tricky because we have a long-standing rule on this podcast, self-imposed, that we've never had to mark the podcast explicit. Did you know that podcasts are marked explicit? All the gnarly true crime and the last podcast on the left, don't they have a little E next to them on your podcast feed there, Kate?
Let me look.
Take a look. Yeah, podcasts are supposed to be marked when they have any explicit content or language in them.
No.
Oh, no. Whatever app you're using is laissez-faire. It's got a loose leash on you. But they are. So like on iTunes, which, Apple Music, it'll tell you, and it's up to the creator and, the people hosting the podcast, us, to mark it as such when we upload it. And I've always strived to make it so I don't have to mark our podcast explicit, so I always bleep our curse words. And try to limit our curse words, although I feel like as the years have gone on, I feel like I've been bleeping a lot more than I used to.
Listen.
And that is all a long way of saying the name of the thing we're going to watch would be bleeped under our usual rules. And I'm not one to bend my own rules, so I'll be bleeping it. So I'm going to try to say the name of this thing as little as possible, so I have as little work as possible. Today, Kate, we're going to be watching Jackass. Have you seen it?
All right, guys. I have a confession to make. I f***ing love Jackass.
I just want to gently remind you that I'm trying to bleep as little as possible.
Can you please tell the story about when I was first exposed to Jackass?
What was the first thing you watched?
It was, I wanted to take a nap. Remember?
Yeah, years ago, there was a moment where you were looking to take a nap, and because we do everything together.
No, because we lived in like a 3-room apartment.
Is that long ago? Okay, I thought it was in our house. I was gonna say, like, why wouldn't you just nap in bed? You don't like to nap in bed.
I don't. I'm not a bed
refuse.
napper.
Anyway,
No.
so, and in that apartment, the bed and the TV room were very, like, there was barely any separation. You needed to take a nap, so I wanted to do something that you would have no interest in, so it would, not interrupt your nap. So I put on an episode of this TV show.
Jackass.
Thank you. And you, like, woke up. You roused yourself from your nap, and you're like, is this Jackass? And then you watched it, and I don't want to speak for you, but
I love Jackass.
Enjoyed it, right?
I love it. It really doesn't seem like something that's on brand for me.
Right? According to all your other tastes and preferences, you should not like this.
We also watched a bunch of Jackass after our rehearsal dinner.
Oh, yeah, because that was after that.
Our bridal party.
Yeah, we all hung out at my parents' house and watched a bunch of the best clips.
And then
it's just so good.
I have seen all the movies, but I think the older the Jackass crew gets, the more endearing it is. By number 3, it really turns a corner for me in terms of like emotional intimacy. And then by 4, like everyone has been to therapy, survived a pandemic, kind of like looking back and reflecting on their lives like that. I cried during Jackass 4, guys. I legitimately cried.
That's the only one you've seen in theaters too, right?
Yep.
Because I was still in college when 3 came out, and I drug all my friends to see it, and only I was like, everybody's mortified. I brought people who really would not enjoy that.
But yeah, so I love Jackass. It's something that I came upon, in my mid-20s. But yeah, there's just something about people falling over,
Would you say your favorite bit is rocket skates?
Oh, I watch rocket skates like at least once a month. And I'm laughing right now just thinking about it.
I was trying to write these notes, and I went through a couple revisions. This is one of the only times where I wrote some really detailed notes and then was like, this is ridiculous. I need to throw this out. I started doing like the history of skateboarding completely, which went back to the history of surfing. It went back to like Polynesian ancient cultures, and I was like, this might be too much even for me. I started the notes over with the idea that we don't need to understand the history of skateboarding. We need to understand the history of skateboarding videos. So you just saw a clip of that first one. Again, it's 1965 Skater Dater. It's on YouTube. Anybody who wants to find it. It's very kind of an interesting little historical thing. But then we have to jump ahead. So we go from 65, the first time someone thought to film skateboarders, to 1984, where you see something that resembles a more what we think of as a skate video, because this was Bones Brigade video show, released on VHS in 1984.
Okay.
When I was a kid, we used to take an old roller skate apart and nail it on a 2x4. But nowadays, you can walk into a sporting goods store, a drugstore, and buy one of these. This is a skateboard.
That's not a skateboard.
Some neighborhood daredevils.
We're going to do a little adjusting here.
Right here on Weekend Today.
Now this is a skateboard.
It's just skating with some like silly sketches, but like Skater Dater technically is like a short film about skating. Like it tells a little story. But this is just people goofing around, skating, and you're gonna buy the tape and watch it with your friends at a sleepover, basically. So this tape was made by a man named Stacy Peralta, who is an extremely like influential skateboarder in his own right, other than just video. He like invented a lot of things that everybody does in skateboarding now.
Yeah. So just a guy skating. Here we are.
We're skating. We're jumping off a car.
Doing
and
tricks.
skating.
Yeah, we're doing some whack tricks. Skateboarding. Presumably we're in California. It's so interesting because I feel like with the like democratization of video, right? Like you can for $1,300 you can own a camcorder in 1984.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and
You can create your own video then about like what you think is interesting.
Right, your subculture.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
now, like, this would be a YouTube video. But now we're going into one of those drained pools, an iconic skateboarding thing.
Yeah. I love that they're putting on some safety equipment. That's
They
nice.
are. So
yeah.
the Bones Brigade, they're kind of dorky that way, which is good.
Which I love.
I'm glad, yeah.
You
okay.
only get one set of original knees.
So
you know?
Stacy Peralta is like the skater mastermind behind this, and then the other guy who made this with him is Craig Stekiak, who was a photographer and filmmaker who did a lot of photojournalism of the skateboarding scene in the 70s, and now he's doing video journalism here. So he's like the camera guy, basically the video expert here, and Stacy Peralta is the skating expert.
Yeah.
And the Bones Brigade were a skateboard team founded in 1979 with members with names like Tony Hawk, Steve Caballero.
I know those guys.
Rodney Mullen. Those are like characters in Tony Hawk's Pro
I don't know
Skater
Rodney
1.
Mullen, though.
You would if you played Tony Hawk 1 again.
Okay.
Watch our Tony Hawk 1 video, guys. It's an old one for us. So what would happen then after this kind of created the genre? Skateboarding companies and magazines would produce tapes like this throughout the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. And in a typical skate video, you see a bunch of cool tricks, but you also see like a blooper section where, look, he's
wipeouts.
He's on his back right now in this video, right?
Yeah.
Where you see them fall off their boards and they get hurt. And then depending on the guys making it, the crew making it, they might also include like little silly sketches, you know?
Yeah.
Which could range from like kind of corny, like here he like jumped on a car and the driver was like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, like a silly little vignette.
Or as they get edgier, they might be a little more, you know, R-rated and dumb
like,
and immature and stuff like that, right?
Like beat up your friend.
Right. So this is the genre that we need to understand. Yeah, here's a sketch where he's talking to two unhoused men who look like they're probably just the dads of the skaters, right? Acting a little bit. Okay, so in 1992, a new skateboarding magazine was created called Big Brother, which was founded by Steve Rocco, a former member of the Bones Brigade, who felt they were a little too tame and not edgy enough.
Ooh.
So now you got Steve Rocco out there with his Big Brother magazine. And Rocco, as a skater, he was a street skater. So have you heard of these different kinds of skating?
What different kinds?
Street and vert are two big ones. Two of the big.
Vert is like when you go up in the air.
Correct.
And street is like what we're doing right now.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So
this
Steve
guy, he's just like popping around.
Oh, he's pogoing on his board. Kind of cool. Right.
Yeah.
You just kind of can stand in one spot and do a bunch of tricks. So Rocco is more of a street skater. He helped kind of popularize street skating, right? Which he kind of developed throughout the 80s. Yeah. And you're literally watching some right now. Mm-hmm. So his magazine, Big Brother, focused more on street skating, but it was also more noteworthy than anything for its extremely edgy non-skating content.
Got it.
It had articles about how to make a fake ID. Mm-hmm. It had articles about suicide methods, like stuff like it was trying really hard to be edgy and counterculture. And unfortunately, counterculture in the 90s and early 2000s is just like the edgiest, cringiest stuff you can think of, you know? The subscription manager for Big Brother was a guy named Jason Acuna. Do you know?
I know that man.
His alter ego.
That's Wee Man.
He's Wee Man, right?
I love Wee Man.
So he was a skater.
He's so cute.
He's a skater himself, and now he's like the subscription manager for this magazine. Like they're the people doing the boring magazine jobs themselves are skaters because this is a way to, you know, immerse yourself in your hobby, right, and make a living around it. Another writer for the magazine, Chris Pontius.
I know him.
He was interviewed.
That's Party Boy.
He was a skater first, and then he was interviewed.
Also so cute.
For the magazine, and then he's like, "Can I work here?" His friend Dave England was a professional snowboarder.
I know him.
Who he would write and edit for Blunt magazine, which was Big Brother's snowboarding spinoff. In 1996, Big Brother put out their first skate video, which is called
That's stupid.
And in addition to the skating sections, there were lots of skits and nonsense, you know, almost more than skating. You can see where this is going. Let me see if I can pull up a clip from that while I tell you. Isn't this nice to distract you while I do the notes?
Yeah, this is great. I get to watch my video.
You can become a good skateboarder without a lot of nasty words, without a lot of bad stuff. It isn't a necessary part, but they're catering to that ethic or to that group on purpose.
Oh, look. May contain self-harm. Some other names working on this. One of the editors and writers of Big Brother also worked on this video, a guy named Jeff Tremaine.
I know that guy.
He grew up riding BMX. He wrote for BMX magazines, and then he worked his way into Big Brother. In high school, Tremaine was close friends with Spike Jones.
I know that guy.
Right?
I saw a butt. Look, there's a butt in
it.
this video.
There's Wee Man.
Oh, Wee Man, he's so young. He's such a
That's the funny thing about the Big Brother videos because
they're so young.
They're in their 20s in Jackass. So they might
man.
be teenagers, some of them here.
Wow.
So
this is like watching videos of like your parents, you know?
You're like, wow, they were young ones.
Oh man.
So Spike Jonze and Jeff Tremaine were old friends. Spike Jonze is going to go on to become an extremely successful music video director in the 90s. Then he directs movies like Her, and he made the Where the Wild Things Are movie, and, Being John Malkovich. So anyway, they're friends. He works for Big Brother a little bit, and he helps make these videos. So they're like, the team is just assembling itself, In 1998, Big Brother released their second tape called Number 2.
Nice.
The most noteworthy skit on that one was a man named Johnny Knoxville
I know that guy.
testing out self-defense weapons on himself, including shooting himself in the chest with a gun while wearing a bulletproof vest. Let's do a quick Johnny Knoxville detour here. His name was Philip Clapp when he was born.
Yep.
That is still his name. His friends call him that. He moved to LA from where he's lived, Knoxville, Tennessee, in 1989 to pursue acting. And his biggest influences in his life, according to him, were his dad, who was an insane prankster, would call his friends and pretend he was the police and just do crazy stuff. Jack Kerouac's On the Road.
Okay.
Is his favorite, most influential book that he read when he was kind of young and made him into an annoying, I feel like he's somewhere between pretentious and completely unhinged.
Well, that's honestly a great spot to be.
I think so. I think that's some of the secret to his success. Evel Knievel is one of his biggest influences, which makes sense in the 70s growing up.
100%.
And Hunter S. Thompson's form of journalism, his gonzo journalism, right?
Yep. Yeah, if you take all of those, you put them together, you put them in a
Johnny
microwave
Knoxville.
for a sec, you kind of let it marinate, and then you get Johnny Knoxville. I have to say, though, early Jackass is not really my favorite,
And we're going to watch from the TV show today.
I know. I don't like when they do poop. I don't like that.
I want to take a quick intermission to show you Evel Knievel's attempted Snake River Canyon jump. This was very influential on Johnny Knoxville. So this was September 8th, 1974, from the TV show The Wide World of Sports.
If I don't black out, boy, when he tells me to blow that chute system open, I'm going to get it open. That baby's going to come down okay.
I wasn't concerned about that. I was concerned that if you started to red out or gray out or black
I might let go of it.
you might have trouble holding on to not know what you were doing with it.
Oh, I probably would, but I'm not planning on doing that. I'm going to stay awake.
To get over this canyon, a bike can't do it.
No, it's got to be a rocket.
If created
It's gotta be a
some sort of
rocket.
insane rocket.
I just can't, man.
But he didn't make it.
No,
He survived, but he did not make it across.
I just love stuff like this. I can really dig a failed stunt as
Right.
long as no one dies.
Right.
Because this is so grainy 70s footage, it really looks like he's jumping a pile of potatoes. I really, really love when something shoots out like a rocket. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Look how quickly it just turns straight
Yeah.
down. I mean, it has a parachute,
Yeah,
his
it's
strange
completely
rocket
fine.
car.
All right.
So he didn't even get close.
Yeah, no.
So young Johnny Knoxville's watching this, right? This is all getting into his brain. So Johnny Knoxville now, it's 1989. He's in LA. He's struggling to get into acting. He's in some extra roles. He's in commercials. He's waiting tables. He's doing the whole Hollywood thing, failed Hollywood thing. So he goes to himself, okay, acting's not working. What if I emulate Hunter S. Thompson, my other hero, and I write weird, dangerous articles, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas style. So he decides, no one's done this. I'm going to write an article about testing out self-defense stuff. And he goes around to all these magazines, these independent some big ones, but then he's getting to more and more indie magazines, and they're all do not do that. We cannot pay for you to do this because you're going to die, and then we will be liable for your death, right? So every single magazine, Kate, except for Big Brother Skateboarding Magazine, said no. They let him do it. He's going to film it. He's going to write an article, and then they'll have the footage to put in their number 2 video. So he did. And nobody, though, even then, nobody would agree to shoot him. He wanted someone else to shoot at him, but they wouldn't. So in the video, he has to turn the gun on himself and shoot himself in the chest with a revolver that flies out of his hands. And he does it. He does a lot of stuff. The shooting is the finale. Parallel track to this during this time, Stephen Glover, soon to be known as Steve-O, was performing as a clown at a flea market in Florida.
Of course he was.
He was filming.
I really worry about young Steve-O. He turned out okay, but if you were watching this in the 90s and you were like, oh yeah, Steve-O, what a wacky guy, I'm sure he's fine. No, he was not okay.
So he's a flea market clown in Florida, and
I just have a question.
He'd been filming because he went to clown college, and I think he failed out, and he's had trouble.
Okay, so he had a little trouble at clown school, college.
Yeah. School was never his thing. But
Yeah.
he had sorry.
If I was at a flea market, which is not my favorite place to be,
it wouldn't happen.
just straight out, and then I saw a clown at it, I would leave.
He'd been filming himself his whole childhood. Like, he has always had a desire to do this stuff.
And access to a camera.
Yeah, I get his father. His
enough.
father was like the CEO of Pepsi Brazil or something. Like, his dad's super rich.
Yeah, I feel like you either have to be super rich or super poor to make these things, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's filming himself, and he hears about Big Brother, and he starts sending them his tapes, and they decided to include him in their third video, which is called Boob, in 1999.
Boob.
And another parallel track, and this is all just like great parallel thinking by young, disaffected, kind of rich white guys,
Okay.
right? That seems to be what's going on. Not Johnny
Yeah.
Knoxville. He was not kind of rich, but
No.
we're about to get to Bam. So
I don't like that Bam, though. He's got problems.
Westchester, Pennsylvania, Kate. You have a young man named Brandon Bam Margera. He's been skateboarding since age 7.
Yeah, because he's sensation seeking.
He became
He needs help right now. If I could travel to the past, my first job would be to help April get Bam into therapy.
One of the many reasons I love you is because I know that you would change all their lives at a young age, even if it meant you don't get to watch rocket skates, because you'll erase it from history by getting them all help. He became sponsored as a skater at age 14, so Bam is like he's a skating
He was a good
prodigy.
skater,
He's an
yeah.
absolute prodigy.
And just threw it all away.
And his father, Phil, was extremely supportive and would make home movies of it. He would drive him everywhere. They're going from Westchester to Philly to go skate at Love Park and go skate at FDR Park and go all over. Like, his parents were too supportive. Philly's Love Park is like one of the many meccas in the country of like street skating at that time.
Love Park or FDR Park?
Which one? Love Park is the street skating one. FDR Park's more of a vert skating park.
Vert.
So, in addition to skating, though, Bam, I love this is my favorite part of the whole thing. Bam became passionate about filmmaking after taking a digital media class in his school.
Oh.
So, he's in his digital media class with his friends Chris Robb, Brandon DiCamillo, and Ryan Dunn, because they all grew up together. Just a side note, that sounds like a lot for their teacher.
It seems
That
like it would
class
be a
is stacked.
classroom management nightmare.
So they learned how to film stuff in their little class, and then they're like,
Maybe this was the one class where they kind of had it together, though, you know?
so they filmed, here's something that they filmed on their own out of class.
I just can't imagine teaching
Ready?
them like algebra 2, you know?
But here's what they did, which I'm sure their
Yeah.
teacher was like, please don't show me this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They were like,
Right.
all right, hey, we made our project. And then you watch it and you're like, what the hell?
It's like them kicking footballs at cars. Like, not good.
Not
That's
good.
the big thing
Very
with
bad.
Bam and his side of this. I feel like they have no respect for other
Yes.
people,
Yeah.
for property, for boundary. Like,
Yeah.
they think it's so fun. Like, whatever. They're the worst of the pranksters.
They really
here.
are. They
But
really are.
Of everyone,
Rest in peace, Ryan Dunn, but not great to drive drunk. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't
Okay.
drive impaired.
So what they do is they put together a video called Land Speed CKY, also in 1999, and it's called that because Land Speed is the name of a company that makes skateboard wheels, and CKY was the name of band's brother's rock band because he's in a band called CKY, which stands for Can't Kill Yourself, because they're all just so edgy.
Too edgy. Guys, if you need help, text 988.
That ice cream looks good. Where'd you... Right over there. Can I get a bite? Huh? Can I get a bite? No. Why?
So this is their skate video, but it is heavily on the prank and skit side, you know. But he is an extremely professional, gifted skater, so it does have skating in it, but they're leaning more into silliness. But this Land Speed Wheels company sold the tape, and they featured his brother's songs. Okay, you literally can barely call this a skate video. It has almost no skating in it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of skating, a
Right.
lot of property damage,
Right.
you know?
Shopping carts being
Yeah.
put, you know, that kind of stuff.
That's
so
silly.
so you have all this parallel thinking going on, right? Steve-O, Bam, Big Brother's crew, Jeff Tremaine, Johnny Knoxville, everybody. So Jeff Tremaine, he's the true kind of glue to this whole thing. He saw the second CKY video, CKY 2K in 2000, and he realized, he's like, okay, we can get all these guys in one room and we can make something and make money doing this, I think. So Jeff Tremaine, Johnny Knoxville, and Spike Jonze technically are listed as the creators of this idea. A skate video without the skating is how they pitched it. Lorne Michaels almost hired them to make it a part of Saturday Night Live. I cannot imagine that. It doesn't make sense to me.
Interesting.
Like, it would be like the digital shorts, I think. Like,
Yeah.
like the original, but like, it's not what SNL does. Anyway, the digital shorts are more like sketches. So they rejected his offer. This has happened a lot in notes I've been taking for this podcast, where people, the absolute confidence of some of the people pitching these shows who are like, they have no inside track in Hollywood and the, you know, the show business. And they're like, no, NBC, we will not take your offer. They sold it to MTV instead because they had a competing offer from MTV where they would have more control. But like, just in the typical logic of the 90s, in the early 2000s, like they probably should have, you'd think they'd make more money and it would be more well known on NBC than MTV, but who knows. And I feel like MTV had a really good relationship with Spike Jonze because he directed some of the most popular music videos. So they had they knew him. So their TV show, which they called Jack, ran on MTV from October 1st, 2000 to August 12th, 2001. They made 3 seasons and just 25 episodes.
Wow.
And again, it combined all the players from the Big Brother tapes and the CKY tapes. It broke viewership records for MTV. It was, at the time, it was the most watched thing. It was controversial because it started a little tiny bit of a moral panic.
And you know I love a moral panic.
In prep for this, I did listen to the podcast. I've never heard it before until now. American Hysteria. They did episodes about it. Pretty interesting. They cover a ton more than we did here. So if you'd like it, go listen to them. We watched Beavis and Butthead a long time ago on this show, Kate. Same thing happened. Folks were worried about imitatable behavior, which even more so than Beavis and Butthead, like I can't argue with that. This is extremely imitatable bad behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And again, some of us didn't have the best supervision of what we were watching. So I feel like, it's really on the parents, not on MTV, I don't think.
Yeah.
You have to pay for cable and hook it up to your television for your child.
And put it in your child's room.
You have to do all that for them. It's not like it's just, it's not on NBC, on SNL, over the air. So what started to happen, though, is because of the panic that was happening, MTV clamped down on what the boys could or could not do, which made Johnny Knoxville absolutely irate because he was told he couldn't do something. So...
yeah, I know that energy.
The last few members we didn't mention earlier, Preston Lacey.
I know him.
He was a truck driver, and Johnny Knoxville met him because he was driving fabric around for Johnny Knoxville's wife, who had a clothing company.
Huh.
And they would talk because they were friendly because he worked for his wife. And Preston Lacey's like, how about these ideas? These sound good for your show. So he was hired as a writer, in whatever sense this show has writers, And then Aaron McGahey. He was a professional snowboarder and close friend of Dave England. I think that's everybody who you're going to see in this
all the Avengers.
first couple episodes here. They would go on to make 4 feature films, 2 spin-off shows, Viva La Bam and Wild Boys, the movie Bad Grandpa. Plus there are, I don't know, you haven't seen all of these. They made movies called Jack 1.5, 2.5, which were direct-to-DVD extra movies made of all the stuff they didn't, they filmed so much, they could make a whole sort of second movie for each movie out of the extra footage. But I want to watch 2 episodes. Although I'm going to give you the option at the end if you want to continue to a third, if you're enjoying your life. The 2 we'll definitely watch are Season 1, Episode 1, the very beginning, Poo Cocktail.
Oh, no. I don't like when they do the poop.
I think...
If they do a poop one, we have to fast forward.
You take... Yeah, that's what we do in real life. You take when we watch it ourselves. Yeah. You got to take the good with the bad. I think the whiplash of something you like, something you don't. But Season 2, Episode 1, Cup Test. And then,
all right, I'll watch that one.
If you are really vibing and you decide to watch a third, I will not pressure you at all. It would be Season 3, Episode 9, the final episode, The Bedwetter. And just real quick, last bit of notes here. Personally, I was newly 9 years old when this started. It premiered right after my 9th birthday. I stumbled onto it during its original run, I think. Maybe not at 9, but maybe at 10. And I was intrigued, certainly.
Okay.
Because you can imagine.
Sure.
It doesn't look like anything. It looks like your home movies.
Yeah.
Other than America's Funniest Home Videos, this is really unusual.
Yeah. And it does feel like the word that I'm looking for isn't coming to me, but and maybe it is actually, and maybe this is it. It feels oddly personal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oddly intimate.
Yeah.
And I think only gets more intimate as they get older.
Yes.
And then I cry.
Even though the cameras get better and that you lose some of that, what's that V, that word that begins with a V for when something's really get realistic?
Verisimilitude.
Yes, it has that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
even though the cameras get better and you lose that element, yes, their personalities get better as well as the cameras get better over the years. So throughout my early teens, I started to actually become kind of a big fan, and then I would acquire the DVDs of the movies and the show and etc. And that's how you ended up watching them from my big DVD wallet that we have all these in.
Which we still have. It's taking up space in our closet.
We are not watching from the DVDs though, because the final note here, the original airings of these episodes had a lot of music, actual music. But because of licensing for streaming and DVDs, the versions that we own on DVD and everyone else does, and that are on Paramount Plus, the music has been replaced, and the sketches are out of order, and some of them are missing. So we will be watching the versions that some kind soul has put on the internet. They're called the Turd editions.
Turd.
Where they are intended to be pretty much a perfect recreation of what aired on TV originally. So you'll get the true experience.
Thanks, you little freaks, for making the turd edition.
I just love that people are out there doing this.
You know what? You're doing God's work.
Yeah, it's
God
probably
bless you.
going to get removed. I shouldn't have said the name of it, but okay.
Okay, that was the longest notes we've done in a while.
It had to, though.
I know.
You have to hear
I
about
know.
all these
I'm so glad we
boys.
didn't go back to to ancient Polynesia, though. We'd be still sitting here. Jesus Christ.
So
All
what
right.
happened was, Kate, they would use paddle boards to travel, and then it became a sport later. And then in California, when
Just plug it in.
when the waves weren't good, all the freaks who loved doing it were like, we still need to move like this, so they put wheels on boards. That's basically it. That's how skateboarding came about.
Good morning, Desert Nurse Sofa.
Good morning. This is Johnny Knoxville calling. I'm doing a stunt tomorrow where I get put in a porta potty and dumped upside down, and it's going to be full of poo and whatnot. And I need to know what pertinent shots I need to receive before this stunt goes down. I know it's an odd question.
Just seeing this intro the first time, I was
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Yeah, like, what am I looking at? Yeah.
The music, the quick clips, people
Yeah.
flipping over, getting
And
hurt.
people are always like, "Oh no, TikTok is rotting our children's brains." like this was 5-second clips before 5-second clips existed.
Good
right?
point, good
Like,
point.
Here's Johnny Knoxville.
His pranks are always so much better to me than Bam's pranks.
Bam's pranks are just kicking footballs at cars.
And punching his own
Yeah.
dad.
I want to think that Johnny Knoxville is here interrogating fragile male masculinity from the early 2000s. Right?
Him and Steve-O claimed today that they were like, we're anti-homophobe. I don't know if they really were thinking that, but it does. You can read it that way.
But yeah, like Bam Margera is like, well, what if I rode this bike down a hill?
That was pretty
into
funny.
a porta potty. I feel like all of these guys have CTE though, right? Like,
Yeah, definitely.
it's not good.
Absolutely.
I'm really glad that Steve-O is sober now.
Yeah. Here's Steve-O drinking an entire, what is this? Some type
It's
of
like a
alcohol.
highball glass.
Yes.
It is not.
And it is full.
It is not like a shot glass
No.
that he's gotten his whole mouth around. That's not good.
All right, so some of these clips are from those Big Brother videos in these early episodes. This is the famous self-defense test. However, MTV would not air the gun part, so that's not in it.
Okay.
But this is it. He is rich and famous now
Yep.
due to this thing. It's also filmed so
Like,
badly.
Yeah, she's like in someone's backyard.
I understand that the cameraman doesn't want to be close to the pepper spray, but like we're missing the opportunity
Yeah.
to see his face up
Yeah.
close. Like it's crooked.
He's trying to remove taser clips. Like it's
with
really
pliers.
bad. Yeah.
So what you're not seeing is right after that him shooting himself with a bulletproof vest on.
I just love that Chris Pontius is always down to have his butt out. You know, I don't want Chris Pontius to be running barefoot down this road. You
Wow.
know, just worry about him.
You know what? I'll make an exception to Bam's dumb pranks for when he goes to a golf course and raises hell. Look at young Bam.
Young Bam does look like he's gonna have like a knockdown drag out with the mother of his child, like in a restaurant. It's
Oh.
not good.
Their skate lenses do look cool though.
This is not funny.
You
know
don't
what I
like it?
mean?
You don't like
I
the
don't
shopping
think the
carts?
shopping cart. I think it's really repetitive, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but we watched Johnny Knoxville go to like 5 different gas stations with Chris Pontius bound and gagged in his trunk.
true, but then you have the variable of like, how are people going to react to
Right.
it? You know,
Yeah, we're just getting hurt and
Yeah.
destroying a lot of shrubbery.
foliage.
This media teacher must be so proud.
All right, so here's Jason Acuna, wee man, dressed as an Oompa Loompa, skating.
The idea of just like people at Santa Monica Pier just seeing him go by. I remember seeing this sketch as a kid on TV. Here's a classic, Daddy and Baby. This is a pretty edgy prank, huh?
Yeah.
Dave England flipping off a bike with a fake baby on the back. It's like really scary to
It's
people.
pretty scary, yeah.
Because the Chris Pontius coming out of the trunk like a kidnapping victim
Yeah.
is like so crazy, like so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It might not be quite as scary as this. This
Yeah.
is like people think they're watching a baby die.
All right, I'm a bit worried about this one.
The fat suits.
Yeah.
Because what's the joke? They're just doing their usual fall down the stairs,
Yeah.
but now they're in wheelchairs and fat suits.
Yeah. And again, Bam stuff just doesn't feel as funny.
How often do you think Phil and April have to repaint?
April's lovingly sponge painted home. Every square inch of that house is sponge painted. A lot of French colonial furniture in there.
I guess the part of the idea is like maybe they won't get hurt as much.
It's like, Bam, just wear a helmet. Like, maybe if you wore a helmet, we wouldn't have quite as many problems now. You know? They're just like really loading this toilet up. This porta potty.
You know what it is too? Johnny Knoxville just giggles and chortles so much. He seems like he's having a good time.
All right, so at least he's got goggles on. Anything they do that involves poop, I just
Sure.
really can't.
He's wearing an N95,
I can't abide it, you know?
a swim cap, and goggles. So they're lifting the porta potty up using a trash truck arm. So he's going to go upside down, right? Well, at least sideways.
Yeah.
I think he's going all the way upside down. Oh my God, no. Wow.
Oh, wow. It's just washing up the back.
It's just...
Oh, and it just keeps going. Oh, no.
It's pouring out the roof. Wow.
Can't do it.
They made the most watched show on MTV.
I know.
It's so shocking. It worked. It's spraying all over the windshield of the truck that's picking it up. Oh, no. Wow. It's captivating.
It is. Yeah, you can't stop watching it.
They know what they're doing.
All right, so he's covered in poopy.
Just his back. Front of his shirt's still white. This is the thing about this, that they're always like willing to wipe each other down. Like, I get that now if he goes back to make one, his family can't argue with him because like he's going to make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But when he was doing this with a wife and a young child, like...
Yeah, it just doesn't seem advisable,
It must have been hard for them to be like, sure, I'm sure this will work. Like, it seems like a high price of admission, but it worked. You can't argue with the results.
You can't. It's so funny because I feel like Johnny Knoxville is like smart playing dumb. And Bam Margera is just dumb. You know what I mean? Like, smart playing dumb is so much more tongue in cheek, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's a certain tongue in cheekness, even to like Wee Man and like even to an extent, like once he's sober, Steve-O, right? But like Bam there's no like tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
He's like, look, what if I just ram this shopping cart into a curb over and over again?
He just kicked his skateboard into a moving car, like on the highway.
Yeah.
Like that could make the car crash and die.
Right? There's just like a certain, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
That's all. That's my hot take after one episode.
I don't like the way you don't like all the poop stuff. When
You don't like
someone's-
the vomit?
When they throw up, it...
Does it make you want to vomit?
Yeah, a little bit. That made me queasy.
Hi, I'm Steve-O, and this here is Manny. I'm getting ready to pile one of these earthworms into my nose and hork them, like pull them out of my mouth. What am I getting myself into, Manny?
Well, these are earthworms. They're not a parasite, so he's not gonna latch onto you and feed off you in there. He doesn't bite, but I'm sure he's got, germs in his body and, he lives in the dirt and things like that. I hope your immune system is good and strong.
Yeah, I try to keep it on its toes. Should I rinse it off, you think?
Yeah, try rinsing it off.
Wasn't really planning on it.
Look how happy these children are to go kick Johnny Knoxville in the cup.
Yep. I just love that they're giving these kids like very detailed instructions.
He's doing it. He's like, you're going to step up, kick me, and then walk to the right. Their smiles after they do it. Look at the kid.
That kid did a karate kick.
And he missed. He hit him in the thigh. The unprotected thigh.
It's amazing that these guys have like any left, right?
They had
like
kids.
Yeah, like it's amazing these guys had children,
It's just so funny when they do this. They have like a tennis ball launcher shooting him. And like
shot him like right in the chest.
Every other one hits in a different part of him.
Yeah.
It's not what they're doing. Croquet. He is fearless, you got to admit.
This seems like it's all in one day too, right? Like
Yeah, he's in the
one
same
long
outfit.
horrible day. See, this whole episode is just us chortling.
Johnny Knoxville being speechless with pain after getting croqueted in the groin, and you're just giggling away over there.
See, there's like a certain element of visual storytelling to when Johnny Knoxville does a bit, right? Where it's like, okay, we're going to give these kids instructions, and then like we're going to set up a croquet wicket, and then Johnny Knoxville is going to test the contraption that they've built to swing a sledgehammer, right?
He does it to destroy a cantaloupe, and then just the look on his face, wordless. You're just dragging Bam nonstop.
I am. I don't like Bam. And I don't support his treatment of his wife and kid. He needs help. Stop trying to check yourself out of rehab, Bam.
Just the idea of him wearing full hockey pads, but having his groin exposed.
It's a work of art.
And now they're throwing eggs at him. He's always just cracking up, running away. What a treasure. He's such a treasure.
It is good because, like, Johnny Knoxville is in on this joke.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like...
He's the butt of the joke.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? He's also in on it, you know? I just feel like in some of these sketches, not everyone is in on it, you know?
So they've started putting a logo that's like, please don't do this one.
Yeah.
Like, look, I know you're anti-Bam. I don't hate the idea of, like, they're at some sort of hockey game. The two of them have snuck onto the ice and just started fighting, but, like, there's guys playing hockey, and they're just like, who are these guys? They're not hurting anybody but themselves here. This is fine. And look, the crowd at this, like,
Just
little
going
hockey game are
crazy.
going nuts. Yeah. It's some sort of, like, local hockey league or something. They love it.
He's being dragged off by the skate.
Right. Like, that's fun. That was a good one. That was a good victimless crime. I really think they're all learning and getting better at this. There's Ryan Dunn farting on some goats.
I feel like Phil Margera has sleep apnea and no one is helping him.
He like, don't put a plunger on his head.
Fighting for his life.
Get him a CPAP, Bam.
Yeah. He's fighting for his life while he's asleep.
All right, look, Bam's trying to do a little mime routine
He's
here.
trying.
I
He's
don't
made
want
an attempt.
Phil to be the victim, but, you know, he's holding up all the little things he's going to do to wake him up one at a time and making faces while Phil's sleeping. It's just simple, but
I can
funny.
see why there was a moral panic, but
Yeah, you obviously don't want kids to do this to each other.
sure.
Because I didn't mention it, but people mistakenly thought this was like America's Funniest Home Videos, and you could send your tapes in, you know, because it seems so low rent.
Yeah. You can just hear the grunts of exertion from Johnny Knoxville as he rolls down the stairs.
How come you're not telling Johnny Knoxville to wear a helmet?
He probably should have worn a helmet for all of this. Think of how much smarter he would be now. All right, so here they are trying to snowboard down a street in San Francisco, like a really, like a very steep street.
I love when they do this. They'll write at the bottom, this was done on a closed street, and it most certainly was not. These were never my favorites as a kid.
Because you
I wasn't into sport.
weren't into like skate videos, snowboard.
Right. Like this is Dave England's thing where he'll like kayak down those like dry drainage things in California, snowboard downstairs. Like it's clever. I think it's showing how athletic they are.
Sure,
Certainly.
yeah.
But it's not like funny enough. Like
No,
they don't get
yeah.
hurt enough.
It's like in theory, right? It sounds like it'd be really funny in theory because I think one element of comedy is like when things are misplaced, right? Like they get in these crazy snowboard suits, they put on their little snowsuit outfit, and then they're snowboarding in San Francisco,
Right.
which is like not something that could ever happen, right? And it's like bam, doing a hockey fight in a cafe, right? Like it's this idea that part of comedy is when things like take place in a place that doesn't make sense. But it's just like not landing
They're
for
kind
me
of
personally.
they're like too good at it.
Yeah.
Look, it's like working. Now they've put the snowboard on a skateboard. This would belong in a real skate video.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Here's some Evel Knievel for you.
Yeah.
They're literally wearing outfits in tribute to him.
So here's Preston Lacey's first appearance that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and they've paired him with Wee Man, as they love to do.
And they're friends in real life, which is
They became friends doing this.
so endearing.
Their gentle male friendship.
I love a gentle male friendship, and Preston Lacey and Jason Acuna seem to have one. And like, you know, Wee Man opened up his little like taco shop, and Preston Lacey went and like gave him a hug. You know, they post about it on Instagram. Like they go and get like lunch a couple times a month and like hang out.
The American Hysteria episode like talks about there's like PhDs and dissertations that have been written about what is this? Like, is it a grander statement about masculinity? Is it about the reaction to feminist ideology?
I feel like
Is it
it's
about
more
the economic anxiety of Gen X?
like a commentary on like suburban ennui.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. That's the way that I see it. All right, so here's Chris Pontius in a bunny suit, getting ready to be destroyed by an attack dog. He's in a bunny suit, but I don't think he has like adequate protection.
No.
You know?
Like it's padded, but now the head's off.
Yeah. This dog's being very gentle with him, actually.
Yeah. I think the trainer did a good job. Like they're trying to get it to bite his butt. It doesn't want
It
to.
won't do it. This is an incredibly well-trained dog, though. Look at it.
Oh, Manny Puig.
Oh, Manny Puig! I haven't
The
seen him
animal
yet.
expert.
I think Manny Puig is so endearing. I don't know what it is about him. All right, so Steve-O is going to put a worm in his nose and then, like, hork it kind of out his mouth, which just seems, like, really bad. Steve-O is like the gross-out clown.
Yeah.
You know?
He does really gross things with his
Yeah.
body, like.
And, like, Steve-O, I feel like, has snorted a lot of things at this point. So
this is not hard for
yeah,
him
look at him.
to
Wow,
do.
he's an expert snorter.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're going down.
It's making me a little
You're
nauseous.
hearing the retching.
Steve-O's.
Oh, are we gonna have to stop it? Should we stop
I'm good.
it?
No, I'm good. I've watched a lot of this show in my day. I can handle it. I just gotta look away a little bit.
Oh my god, Tyler's going down, guys. Oh, it's stuck. It's stuck on his soft palate. Look, the worm is really stuck. He's trying to cough it out, but he can't. It's stuck.
Steve-O's fighting for his life. He did it.
Oh, he did it. He got it out.
Woo.
That poor little worm. That worm was doing its own jack. That worm was like, hey, I'm Worm. Welcome to Worm ass. Jack Worm.
Oh, that was it? Wow, that went by in no time. Okay, Kate. What'd you think of that?
I gotta tell you, this is something that I shouldn't like. I really liked it. Even them young, I still like. I don't feel like their like 2013 stuff holds up in terms of like emotional connection, but as a prank and people falling over videos, yeah, it's all right, you know?
Yeah. It's the best.
What I like is the pranks that are a little bit more curated, right? And like the stunts that are a little more curated that have some element of like visual storytelling. Like the cup test is excellent because it has that element of, now we're going to try the sledgehammer. Like, oh, we've built a device and look, you can pull the sledgehammer back and Johnny Knoxville, you can watch it smash this cantaloupe, right? Which I think is really great. The stuff that didn't really wow me, it's all BAM stuff. I don't know. I just don't like it.
Yeah, you've made your opinions on BAM abundantly clear.
It feels like there's no reason behind
like,
making it.
Do you want to watch him fight his dad? I don't.
Not
his
really.
loving father.
Yeah,
who
his
drove
father
him
drove him
all
everywhere.
over. But you still chuckled plenty
I
while
did,
watching
I
these,
sure
even
did,
with
yeah.
the
Yeah.
poo cocktail and.
Ooh, the poo cocktail.
But I think that's part of it. I think you need to have all the stuff that, like, you don't like that part. I don't like the throwing up stuff, but I think you having to like kind of turn away and suffer through that to get to the part you want, I think it enhances the experience. I really do. Because, I don't know, it's like you go from high to low in your opinion of it, and you gag a little and you get disgusted, but then you see something funny right after and it's like a palate cleanser, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like quite as lowbrow as I would think. You know what I mean?
Should I have been watching this at age 10?
Absolutely not.
No way.
No, I don't think that you did not have like the frontal lobe activity to be able to say like, not a good idea.
And you know what? I never recreated it. And when my friends all got into skating shortly after this, I was never interested. I was always too risk averse to skate, which is funny.
Yeah.
This didn't
thank God.
make me want to.
Thank God your parents made a little scaredy cat, a little risk averse boy.
Yeah, here, just watch your shows, buddy.
Because otherwise you would have died.
All right, well, Kate, we'll watch a few more other things that I should not have been watching, and none of us should have at that age, at that time. But,
Poorly supervised January.
Yeah, loose leash, what'd you call it? Laissez-faire, parental blind spot post-holiday. So we'll just keep this train going. You know, I have a lot. I actually have more than a month's worth. We'll see if we want to even watch them all, or if you get tired of all this edgelord content. We'll see.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say this is a little edgelord. This has not aged as badly as I would guess it has.
Yeah.
And I think some of the other things we're going to watch will have aged more badly. I think there's something, not magical, but there's something here. It's hard to define, but I do think they are happy to make homophobic people uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. And that, like, pratfalls have existed for, since the dawn of humanity.
Yeah, when you get to the movie where Johnny Knoxville is, like, recreating literally a Buster Keaton sketch, and he's always claiming that Tom and Jerry were an inspiration when he devises these higher-end sketches, you know, the higher-budget sketches. It's like, yeah, I guess it is like a timeless thing. Mm-hmm. All right, that's enough jack for today.
Well, they're just, like, essentially the extension of, like, a court jester, right?
Yeah,
like,
Steve-O literally was a clown.
Yes.
Well, we can fiddle while the world burns. All right, see you next week, guys. Don't tell your parents what you're listening to.
Yep, don't tell your parents.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.